welcome to a little video that I think a few people have been asking me similar questions from my How to Hunter guides. Generally questions about my interface. So what I'm going to go through is add-ons that I think are useful for raiding based on my interface. So this isn't going to be like a definitive list of all add-ons that are good for hunters when raiding. These are just the ones that I use. Feel free to leave me a comment if there's things you think I've missed off, and I'll gladly have a look at them. But this video is just what I use. So I'm on my way flying to Thunder Bluff because I'm going to use the target dummies there. But at the moment I've got a bog standard interface, absolutely nothing turned on apart from add-on control panel, which is this. Very useful tool generally. It allows you to disable and enable add-ons whilst in game, and also reload your user interface, and you can build up sets of like add-ons that you want to use as well. It's pretty cool. So first one we're going to enable is Dominos. This is one that a lot of people have said, what's that add-on called that you're using for that? Let me just mount up and go over here. So Dominos, right, Dominos replaces all of your action buttons, and it does a few other bits and bobs that, as far as I'm aware, you don't get in the standard interface. So let's have a look at that to start off with. Dominos, he says. Okay, reload UI, and now I've customized this a little bit. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know how I've customized it. But what it does is it allows you to have sets of action buttons, and it's very configurable. So you can configure that by going to /Dominos, or getting to it through the interface option, which isn't showing up. Why isn't it showing up? Because there is an extra add-on that we need to enable, Dominos config. We can load that on demand apparently. Under Dominos we get the options here to configure bars, and we can move. I'm not going to move these bars around, but we could move them around and faff about with them exactly how we want. So we've got one there for pet and all other things like that, and even better than that, it allows us to bind our keys through this, and this is fantastic. We can just mouse over a button that we want to bind the key to, and then we can press the key combination that we want to use for it. Much better than having to go through this shitty key bind menu. Okay, so that's bog standard Dominos. What else do we have under Dominos? We also have buff times. There is also a cast bar. I don't use that. There's also a replacement for roll, and if you're shaman totems, and if you're leveling, there's an XP bar as well. Okay, so let's have a look at what that looks like. First off, we're getting errors. A good thing to get rid of errors is we've got two add-ons called Bug Grabber and Bug Sack, which basically come back with an error message, but you can tell it not to do that. Right, so let's do a bit of combat. I'm in survival spec here, so if we just do some lost names on there, and you will see we can see when we've got a buff on our current target. So we can see we've got a lock and load proc just happened. You can see we've got a cooldown on Black Arrow, etc, etc. That's very nice and good. I specifically had a question about what was lighting up explosive shot when we got a lock and load proc like that, like clockwork, and that is just Dominos and the subsequent add-ons for Dominos there. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to the next option, which is Quartz, which is my cast bar. not my cast bar, but it's the one that I use. So under quartz. So this gives us a better cast bar. We can see the latency in there as well, so that's nice. You can get it to put the spell name that you're casting in there. The way I figure it, I should know what I'm pressing, so I don't have that being shown up, which is nice. Quartz again is very, very configurable, so if we click on ourselves we can see that was not a good example. No, if I do my Hearthstone we can see the top one is the target's cast bar. In this case it's not a great example because it's just a replication of me. But you can put those any way you want and you can do all kinds of funky stuff with it as well. Very good. It's like the de facto cast bar add-on. Okay, let's keep moving on. Extra cooldown. This is very useful if you've got a 4-set or you've got any trinkets with cooldowns in them. You don't see anything until you are in combat, but you can get at that through the add-ons extra cooldown, and this is all kind of done for you. You don't really have to worry about anything with this at all. You can move the frame, he says, but I can't remember how you unlock it and get it to show. But let's just show you what that looks like. So here we've got these 4 things that have popped up. So these are basically lock and load proc. So we can see the cooldown on those. We've got the Chrono Hunter, which I think is the tier 13 4-set. Velocity, which is from the Starcatcher Compass, and Flintlocked Woodchucker. Right, now the reason this is good is because, I don't know about you, but I don't use arcane shots that much these days. I don't tend to do a lot of them one after another. Now, for the Chrono Hunter, that's triggered by doing arcane shots, so it's very useful for you to go, right, it's off cooldown, I need to do more arcane shots until that triggers. So it's kind of something to look at to make sure you're getting the most out of your 4 sets and your trinkets and whatnot. Very useful. I've found since I've installed that, I think I've been a bit more effective with my DPS. Could be anecdotal, but that's what it feels like. Okay, if you're as it worth noting, that works for all classes as well. It's not just hunters. So if you've got an alt that has trinkets and set pieces, then it's good for that as well. Okay, the next one that a lot of people have asked me about is the thing that's putting cooldown counters onto action buttons. So for example, if we do a Serpent Sting on this target here, we can see we actually get a numerical countdown. And you know what? I picked this up from somewhere. I think I got it as an add-on pack many, many moons ago. And yeah, I didn't even know what it was called. But anyway, I'll save you from that heartache. The add-on is called OmniCC. OmniCC, and we get OmniCC config. We can look at that through here, and we can enable soon to expire counters and text sizes and all kinds of crazy stuff. I love this add-on. You know what? It's one of those that I just cannot do without when I'm on the default interface when I'm using the Iron Man challenge, for example. In fact, I might add it in on the Iron Man challenge. So we're getting pretty close to what my interface looks like. So let's go through a couple of others which are useful. There's one here called MOSFET cookies. Now this is really useful only if you're playing marksman, so maybe if you're PvP or if you're stubborn and you refuse to play survival. I'll show you what it does because it's actually very, very useful. So One of the ways to maximise your DPS as marksman is to use aimed shot instead of doing arcane shots or chimera shots when your haste is at a certain level, and it's like very tricky to work it out, and basically it's at a certain level and it's fine, but above that it's actually better to just use your normal rotation. So if I just show you kind of what it looks like, we'll pop our cooldowns at the start, and obviously we've got our 4 set that might kick in as well. Come on, at some point it'll kick in. There we go. And we see here we've got our aimed shot time is going to be just under a second. So as long as we've got, it's gone back up again now to 1.3, but it'll stay coloured green up to 1.7, I think, is the threshold, and there we go. It's gone back down to 2.2, so we'd fall back to our normal rotation. And when we get some cooldowns pop up, we can we know we don't have to keep an eye on our buffs or anything like that. We just know because we've got this cooldown. So the timer here showing you how long it's going to take. Awesome, excuse me. Awesome add-on if you use marksman. Entirely pointless if you don't. So let's keep going. I think they're mainly the combat ones that I use. Of course, if you're raiding, you're going to want either of the boss mod add-ons. So we've got Bigwigs or Deadly boss mods. I actually use them both, and I still miss things, but they're both as good as each other. Some are better on certain fights, some are better on others. And that is pretty much the combat ones I use for raiding. So if we reload our default interface, when we do that, a couple of things don't get put back in the right place, but that's not too big a problem. And there's our interface. Now, if you want a full list of the add-ons I'm using, the ones I've described in this video, I will put links to in this video. If you want to see any of the others, such as the thing that's putting the border on, or my buffs, or my mini-map add-ons, then there is another video that I've explained every single one of my add-ons. I will link that. It's part of my Let's Play of World of Warcraft. It's quite a long video. If you've got any questions, or any suggestions even for other add-ons that I might have missed, then drop them in a comment below. And as usual, thumbs up, like, subscribe, dislike, whatever. Just give me feedback. Helps me improve my channel in the future. I'll see you next time. No, I don't raid marksman.